Hey, you know, a lot of people have a very big problem right now, and that is bringing their ideas to life. You know, we all have hopes and dreams, even at your age. You have hopes and dreams, and you have ideas. But a lot of people struggle with bringing those ideas to life. So, what my digital media company does is help them bring these ideas from just the thought, pieces of paper, and bringing those ideas to life and then bringing them to the marketplace to see if anybody really wants to buy it. So, hey guys, my name is Randy Otterbridge, and I tell you, if you're a JA right now, trust when I say this, it's a great organization. I was a junior achiever back in the day. When you hear back in the day, you know people are talking about back in the day. I think it was on Fulton Street at the time, and I enjoyed my time as a junior achiever. So I'm glad to see that they're bringing this opportunity to you guys. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to listen to this. And I want you to understand that even at your age and the fact that you have so many ideas running through your mind, it could be the very idea that changes your life, changes your family life, changes your finances, right? So I want you to start thinking about this and take some notes if you want to, right? It's going to be about a 5-minute talk. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to walk through what I do. I'm going to walk through how I get stuff done and help people create these ideas from just that stuff that comes from their mind, and then how you can do some of those same things too. So, all right, so stay with me to the end. Here it is. One of the things that people struggle with and why they struggle with putting ideas into action is that a lot of times they just don't know how. So what my company does is walk alongside of them and help them bring these ideas to life. We will find the place to put them and all that kind of stuff, right? So my typical day looks like this. I'm up usually really, really early, right? I like to get up before the sun starts, playing, its game, telling me to come outside and do nothing else, right? So I try to get up at 4 in the morning. I know for some people that's crazy talk. Well, guess what? If I get up at 4, then I'm usually done by 10 a.m. So think about that, right? You put in your time and you're done so you can enjoy the rest of the day. So that's what I do. I get up early, and what I'll do is I'll sit at the computer and I'll take all of the ideas that either my clients are asking me would help with or some of my own ideas. And what I do is I just collect the ideas and I put them around and ask myself, where is the best place that this idea can be put into play, right? So it may be a blog, it may be a website, it may be something like just a book, an ebook or something like that. Some way we need to put this idea that somebody has into the marketplace. If it's a company that I'm working with, then what we do is we ask, how best can you use pieces of information and you can package them in a way that it goes out into the marketplace and encourages people to buy your product. Does that make sense, everybody? So think about this. When I work with the 6th graders last year, I literally came into the classroom and worked all day. I think it was like from 8:30 or 8:45 all the way until the final bell. And what the 6th graders were doing, this was over at Burton Middle, we ended up creating a name for ourselves, right? We called themselves BMG6. In other words, Burton Middle 6th grade, right? And what we did is when they came in, I just had them on note cards. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Just on note cards, right? I had them collect their ideas on different topics that they would like to solve, on different things that they would like to do. So really just something like this, as simple as this, being able to collect ideas. And then what I did was I says, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to find ways to put each one of these ideas into action. Are you guys getting that? All right, so we would take the ideas and literally right on the board, where could we put these ideas? And I'm telling you, the Burton Middle 6th graders, they came up with all these great things that they could do with these ideas. A lot of them was websites. A lot of them were blogs, if they knew anything about the blogs. A lot of them, some of them were YouTube. Could they start a YouTube channel and start talking about these things and help some folks? Some people were talking about Fortnite, right? Because Fortnite is still the bomb thing out there, right? So they were talking about how they could, if they were playing their games, how they could come up with ideas to help people get to different levels in the game, right? So as you think about that for yourself, you know you can come up with that next big idea, find the place to put it, and then your idea comes to life. Does that make sense? So what I do is typically is I'm working with adults, and I'll tell them, I said, listen, here are the 3 C's to think about when you're talking about bringing ideas to life, right? Here's number 1. You collect the ideas. And this is what I want you guys to do. That's why I want you to take notes and stay to the end. All right, so collect the ideas. Let's say you put them on note cards, you put them on pieces of paper, doesn't matter. I'm just showing you how I do it so you can do it for yourself, right? Think about what you're studying in school. Think about what's most difficult for you right now. And you start saying, well, wait a minute, who do I know that this isn't hard for? Maybe you connect with them, right? You go on whatever you guys are using, your phone, FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, whatever it is, and then you talk with a person that knows something that you might not. And they say, hey, can you help our other students? Again, it doesn't matter what age you are. You 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, whatever it is. The point is that you're going to collect the ideas. 3 C's, remember. Collect the ideas. Then we're going to curate the ideas, right? So think about an art gallery, right? They don't draw the paintings. They just collect them, and then they put them in right spots. So you're going to be doing that with your ideas. You're going to be curating. Collect first, curate second, and then what we are going to be doing is finding ways to commercialize that. We got to advertise it and commercialize it, right? So we're going to collect, curate, advertise. I know that's not a C, but then I got to drop an A in there anyway. And then we're going to find a way to commercialize it. That becomes the work that I do. So typically in my day, I don't have to dress up unless I'm going to go meet a client. But now, because we can't meet folks, I can just dress up. Think about this. I can just dress up, right? Put a nice little tie on if I need to. But typically, this is what I wear. This is my little Michigan gear right now. And, I love Michigan. I love Michigan State. I love all schools in Michigan. It doesn't matter, right? So the thing is that wouldn't it be great if you could work the kind of job, come on now, if you could work the kind of job that allows you to just wear what you wanted to wear, rest when you wanted to rest. Again, I'm getting up at 4 in the morning and I'm going to sleep, taking a nap about 10, right? Or if you got all that energy like you guys do, you could just work all that time. But then the main thing is that you're done. You're absolutely done with your day after helping clients. Because I do mostly all of my work online, is that now I can get up and work anytime. That's the big idea behind what I do, is I can dress the way I want to dress. I can sit there and think about ideas, bringing them all around, and then I can go and help clients get to where they want to get to. Whether it is a business that says, hey, listen, I would like to get more profits in my business, or if it's an individual that says, hey, I would like to have these ideas come to life. I'd like to place them on a blog. I'd like to attract more attention to the information that I'm selling here. That's what I help them do. And the most fun I've ever had over these past 4 years that I've been doing this is being able to control my time, control my freedom, and control the amount of money that I make. You see where I'm going with this, right? Because you now have the chance to work online. And if you notice, we're all working online. We're all trying to figure it out. But you guys have been doing this for a long time, right? The phone has been the thing that you can do. So you can literally start making money from your phone. If you create a piece of information, if you heard this term before, content, if you can create content and people says, hey, I like that content. Oftentimes, they don't care where it comes from as long as it's a good idea. And if you guys are, for example, playing games that, get this, here's what I want you guys to have written down, hopefully you stayed this long, is that if, let's say you're playing a whole bunch of games that their grandchildren or their children are, guess what, at home playing now, and you're now teaching them ways to go to different levels in those games. And trust me when I say this, parents, all we want to do is keep our kids busy, right? And if you now have information that helps them do that, then you could be making money. You don't have to have a computer. You could just have your phone, information on how you do what you do when you're playing your games. And now that information could become valuable to somebody. And if they're valuable enough, trust me when I say this, parents will pay. Let's see if I got this right. It's going to keep you busy for 6 hours? Yeah, I'm doing that, right? So this is what I wanted to tell you guys is that when you're in this kind of space, when you're in the digital space, and this is what I want you to think about, when you're thinking about whether it is in dealing with computers or whether you're saying, you know what, I would like to design games or I would like to understand how the games work. In other words, you're getting into the programming part of it, or you just want to understand what are some of the story elements of how the game goes. Because you guys know when a game just is bad, right? Not only is it technologically bad, but the story doesn't make any sense. So if you can now look at these games and say, how are they telling the story? And then you start creating your own games, it's very possible that you could take that information, share it with other folks, and if they like it, then get somebody to create a game. This is what I'm saying. This is what's possible from the kind of work I do. And I wanted to be able to share this piece of information with you to say, hey, listen, if you have an idea, one of the best things to do is get that idea down. In other words, we talked about the 3 C's, right? We've got an A in there too, but 3 C's, collect the idea, right? Doesn't matter. You can put it on note cards like I was talking about here. Like really, really simple stuff. Collect the ideas and then curate the ideas. What we're going to be doing is just taking the ideas and doing like this. Now, this is what you could do. And it doesn't matter what class you're in right now, because you're going to get ideas while you're sitting there and the teacher is going on and on. And you may go, wait a minute, that's a good idea. And then you add that to the work that you're already doing in the classroom. You see what I'm saying here? Now that book that you're saying, oh my gosh, this book is just, it's getting on my nerves. I can't stand it. Now the book becomes exciting because there's information in there that you could collect and put with other information that the teacher's talking about. You guys see what I'm saying? So now, instead of going, saying to yourself, I don't want to go to class, it's terrible. You now are saying, I can't wait to get to class, because you're looking at all this information that you could collect, that you can now curate. And then you say to yourself, how can I use this information to help other folks? And if you can help those other folks, young or old, now what you've done is created something that you can commercialize. Does that make sense? Oh, I love it. When I was telling the Burton Middle group, 6th graders now, and we came up with just tons and tons and tons of ideas. We says, hey, listen, what would you like to solve? And I says, but what are you already studying that is a problem? And I think at that time they were studying, it might have been social studies, and they were studying, something that dealt with social studies. And we just collected ideas, and they started saying, well, if I could solve it, I would do it this way, this way, this way, this way. That's the first part of it. And this is all I'm telling you guys, is that you can do this for yourself. Start thinking about this, collect those ideas, get them down, just write them down. And I want you to talk with your principal about all the ideas that you collect. Now, this is a key part, and I'm gonna end it on this. You talk with your principal about all the ideas that you have collected. And if your principal wants me to come in, then what we'll do is we'll figure out ways and places to put those ideas so you can see your ideas come to life. All right, I hope that's helped you guys. And I hope you enjoy your junior achievement experience like I did so many years ago. We'll talk to you next time.